Welcome to Culture Screen, where we analyze culture. In this episode, we are summarizing the 42nd episode from Season 4 of the Sopranos series titled No Show. The episode first aired on September 22nd, 2002. In the beginning, we see Adriana is getting closer to Danielle, aka Deborah Cicerone, the FBI agent. Later on at the Crazy Horse, the topic of children comes up, and Adriana admits to Deborah that she fears she might not be able to conceive a child due to issues from a prior medical procedure. Later on, Christopher shows up with little Polly, and moments later, he is trying to talk to Danielle, but she rejects little Polly. As a result, Christopher assumes that Danielle is attracted to women instead. Meadow is tanning and spending time with her buddy Misty. We see she keeps putting off registering for her next semester at Columbia University. When asked why she is so tired, she blames it on her grieving Jackie Jr.'s death. She subsequently says that she intends to take a year off to travel around Europe with Misty. We see Tony and Carmela, of course, making a huge effort to prevent this. Dr. Melfi recommends Meadow see a therapist to help her with her grieving. Ralph makes a joke about Ginny Sacramone, Johnny Sack's overweight wife, at Albert Barisi's birthday dinner. After Tony has left the dinner, Silvio and Christopher discuss plans to rebuild the family, with Christopher filling in for Paulie, who is still in jail out of state on a firearms charge. His nephew, Little Paulie, pays him a visit, and during this visit, Little Paulie mentions the joke Ralph Cifaretto said about Johnny Sack's wife. Paulie is immediately irritated because Paulie has been kissing up to Johnny Sack in order to gain favor with the Lupertazzi family. As a result of this, Paulie does not find the joke funny. We see Chris gets a no-show job at the Esplanade building site as acting captain, while Patsy Parisi and others get the no-work jobs that require them to physically be at the work site but not actually do any work. When Christopher visits Patsy, Patsy points out pricey fiber optic connections at the construction site. Christopher hints and agrees to stealing the fiber optics wire with Patsy. Patsy is of course disappointed that the no-show job went to Christopher simply because he is Tony's nephew instead of him, despite his years of dedicated service to Tony. The cables are then stolen by Patsy. Tony is furious with Christopher for allowing this to happen under his watch, as legal scrutiny is terrible for business when it comes to such a large investment as the Esplanade. When Christopher speaks to Patsy about it, Patsy claims Christopher greenlighted the theft with a look. Ralph and Janice start an affair after getting intimate at the Sopranos' house at Rosalie's birthday dinner. Tony arrives unexpectedly in Livia's old house when they are watching Faces of Death together, and Ralph hides upstairs. Tony discovers Ralphie's shoes in the kitchen and quickly expresses disgust. Christopher has a party with Adriana and Danielle in the back of the Crazy Horse. He places his hand on Danielle's thigh while kissing Adriana. Adriana notices what Christopher is doing and throws a drink at him. While Danielle flees, Christopher persuades Adriana that Danielle was grabbing his hand and that the two should make peace. This leads Adriana to cut off all contact with Danielle. Remember, I am summarizing the entire series, so subscribe and click on the notification bell to be reminded when I upload the next episode. I'll be reviewing other TV shows and movies as well, so let me know what your favorite TV show and movie is so I can summarize it in the future. Doing these two things helps my channel out tremendously. I thank you for your support. Tony's choice to elevate Christopher rather than one of his experienced members from Paulie's crew has Silvio doubtful. Silvio feels he is getting disregarded by Tony when he expresses these concerns. Later on, Patsy meets with Silvio. In their meeting, Silvio authorizes Patsy to steal some of the Esplanade floor tiles. This authorization, however, directly violates Tony's prior order of keeping the Esplanade site a clean operation. As the incident repeats itself, Christopher drives over to the Esplanade and yells at Patsy for his disobedience. Christopher backs out on Patsy as Adriana watches. As the fight escalates, Patsy takes out his frustration by severely hurting a civilian. Adriana is left in shock. Later on, Tony advises Meadow to go to Europe as she continues to fight with her parents over going, undercutting the fact Tony is on Carmela's side, who does not want Meadow going. Meadow goes to see Dr. Wendy Cobbler, a colleague Melfi recommended. Despite Tony and Carmela's hopes that this session would persuade Meadow to return to Colombia, Cobbler really supports Meadow's trip to Europe, disregarding any need for responsibility on her side. Meadow, despite her rebellious streak, maintains omerta during her therapy session and does not speak on those matters. Meadow refuses to confess that the mafia exists at all, let alone that her father is engaged in any illegal activity. Carmela and Tony's preparations are thrown into chaos thanks to the therapist Cobbler and her sudden influence on Meadow. This causes Tony and Carmela to have an intense argument with Meadow. During their heated exchange, Meadow refers to Tony as Mr. Mob Boss and practically accuses Tony for Jackie Jr.'s death. Meadow leaves the house crying as Tony tells her that her entire existence depends on his chosen profession. We also see Adriana is forced to meet with agents Harris and Cubitoso as a result of refusing to accept Agent Cicerone, aka Danielle's, phone calls. They decide to bring Adriana in on narcotics charges. They pick her up on the street and bring her to their office. For the first time, Agent Cicerone confesses who she really is to Adriana. We get the feeling that she really enjoys what she does. Agent Cubitoso explains the scenario to Adriana. Essentially, Adriana has two choices according to the agents. She can work as an informant and provide the FBI with the intel they need on Tony Soprano, or she can face years in prison for possessing drugs with the intent of selling them. The two agents warn Adriana that if Tony discovers she took an undercover agent into his residence, she and Christopher would likely be killed. This causes Adriana to become so nervous that she vomits across the table. The next morning, Silvio goes to Tony's house after learning that Meadow may have run away to Europe. Tony reasserts his control over the family in that basement. Tony speaks directly to Silvio about his recent insubordination with Patsy. He goes upstairs and has a brief conversation with Carmela. Meanwhile, Meadow enrolls in classes at Columbia University. She chooses Morality, Self, and Society, a pre-law course, as her final selection for the following semester. That was episode 42, titled No Show. To watch the next or previous episode summary, click on the link in the description or at the end of this video. If you enjoyed this summary, consider clicking like. It goes a long way toward helping me grow this channel. If you can, support the channel on Patreon.
You want to go to Europe? Go.
We upload new videos every week, so subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to hit the like button as well. Click the notification bell to be notified of when we upload these videos. See you on the next episode of Culture Screen.